What the most ignorant view people have about mental health. That having poor mental health is the same thing as having a mental illness. Just like you can be in poor health, but not have a disease. You can have poor mental health, while not having a diagnosed mental illness. And discussing that is not excusing anything, but it can offer insight into the reasons for someone's behavior. I think this entire concept is far too nuanced for Reddit. This is a very good point. Appreciate it. That people deal with depression are constantly sad. Meaning that if you show any kind of positive emotions it means you are not depressed. But you have had fun with us. We saw you have fun just last week. Ugh, I hate that shit, like hey you smiled, you are cured. When someone is suicidal, no one takes it seriously, believes them, until they attempt complete suicide. And that when someone hurts themselves, threatens suicide, etc., purely for attention, it invalidates them having any issues altogether. If someone is doing something drastic for attention, do not you think that it could be a mental health issue causing them to feel the need to do so? Been in the second camp. I do not want to kill myself, but I'm very bad at communicating exactly how I feel to friends, family, therapists, and I feel like attempting suicide, but surviving it, would be the only way to make everyone take me seriously. Dude, when I first felt like shit, persistent suicidal thoughts, I gave it a thought and went to my college therapist. She understood me and told me that I should see a psychiatrist. So I went to see one, and exactly after 15 MNTs she was like, I do not see a suicidal person here. At first I thought she was trying to calm me or something, but I was already cool, so I was kind of confused. Then at the end of the visit she told me that I'm completely fine and there is no need for drugs. I was like, great, I'm fine, I'm just being dramatic. 3 weeks later I tried to take my life with Marley. I took like 9 pills cause I decided that if I'm going to die dancing. Now I'm alive thanks to my friend who made me throw up and took me to emergency. But a professional idiot is the worst kind of idiots when it comes to mental health, cause you cannot see the symptoms until it is too late. I have only ever had bad experiences with college therapy. They pretty much only serve as suicide watch because they would potentially be liable if a student hurt themselves. And they were very upfront with me by saying, look, there is 30,000 students here. We want you cured and out the door as soon as possible. My first and only consultation was with a baby-faced psych program grad student who told me I was not suicidal because I said I would probably get out of the way if a speeding bus came at me. That you can just get over it if you have a positive attitude and vibe positivity and have a stupid song and dance and say stupid things overly positive people would say. It is all empty and useless. Bipolar disorder is not abbreviated nor the same thing at all as BPD, borderline personality disorder. Bipolar has a few, but no standard abbreviations. But BPD always means borderline personality disorder. It can be frustrating when people conflate the two. Bipolar is a physiological illness that actually affects the structure of the brain, not unlike schizophrenia, and can really only be managed with chemical intervention. Borderline is a personality disorder where the person develops maladaptive coping responses to trauma and is mainly addressed through talk therapy. One is not a more valid illness than the other. They are both hell, but they are not the same. FWIWBPD is poorly understood, and some people think it may even be genetic. It may cause structural changes to the brain, or it may be caused by those differences. It gets conflated with CPTSD. Some people think they are the same. It's all pretty confusing. I managed to have both, which is actually not all that uncommon, but my doctors don't really know why or how. When people tell me to just focus more to deal with my ADHD has a whole laundry list of utter bullshit that I have spent my entire life putting up with. Here is an incomplete list. ADHD is not real. You are just making excuses for being lazy. You just want drugs. Yeah, I'm sure you totally need those medications that people just happen to use to make meth. You are not trying hard enough. Stop making excuses about AD. Get over it and do more work. It is that simple. Just do it. Your attitude is the real problem. It is all in your head. Just stop tricking yourself into thinking you have a problem you cannot overcome on your own, and you will be fine. Those tests for ADS do not mean anything. The doctors are paid to sell meth. Anyone can just walk in and get a diagnosis and some Adderall. Those medications will turn you into a meth head. You need to find a better way to deal with this. I do not see you fidgeting all day and bouncing off the walls, so of course you do not have ADHD. You are just lazy and have low energy. Inattentive type ADHD is a thing. Genius. Everyone has ADHD. Television and video games have made everyone have those problems. Sure, maybe yours are a little worse, but that's just because of your lifestyle. Fix that and you will see that you do not need anything else. Oh god. The everyone experiences those things statement drives me nuts. Yeah. Everyone gets distracted sometimes. Yes. Everyone feels like some tasks are not manageable some days. But not everyone has most of the symptoms every day. I just started the diagnosing process, so I'm not even sure I have ADHD. But all those symptoms sure as duck are there, and they have put me through tremendous stress throughout my life. Believe me, if I could choose, I would prefer a healthy and organized life rather than getting distracted by a new hobby that I will not even keep for longer than 2 weeks and forget to sleep or drink for an entire day. I really do not like when people say everyone has anxiety. Oh, so everyone has so much anxiety that they cannot bear to eat in front of people, are too scared to ask for a break when they are about to pass out, and have anxiety tics. Yeah, I did not think so. That people with mental illness do not all fit into one particular bracket. I was diagnosed with anxiety and had people argue with me about it because I can actually be decently outgoing. People with OCD do not all clean. So on. Same with learning disorders. Had some people tell me I could not be dyslexic because I love reading and I did decently in English classes when I was in school. Heck, I have seen way too many a-holes who think moderate to severe autistics cannot do much, but when they get proven wrong they just assume they have got mild version. Well, maybe this is a learning opportunity for me. I thought severe autism was very debilitating. I know they are not freaking vegetables, but I thought they could not live independently at the severe level. Moderate I could understand, but maybe I do not have the right info. I have an uncle who is severe, not much older than me. He was adopted, so more like a cousin, but irrelevant, and I know by the time he was in his 20s he had a job making a few dollars an hour folding clothes or something. But he never moved out or lived on his own. Autism just heavily depends on the person. My nephew has very severe autism. He talks very little. He would rather grab your hand to take you to what he wants. He is great at electronics like his tablet, but does not do much else. It is a shame, because I think that he would do great at sign language. My mom was trying with him, and he did a decent job at it. It is just that no one is working on it with him as they should. Depression is not real. You are just sad. I noticed recently that I have very gradually increased my minimum on hygiene over the past few years. With my sister's encouragement. It used to be that getting out of bed was the minimum on days I did not have to go out. It transitioned into getting mostly dressed on those days. Then it went to also put on a bra, even if you are not going out. I have always had trouble getting showering on that list. And I know I should care, but I just do not. But I also did not used to care about getting dressed if I did not have to. I have thought of a step to finally get it. My new minimum is to get into the shower. I do not have to scrub or wash my hair, but I need to put in the effort to get in. And if I get in, I will probably go ahead and actually wash myself anyway, because it is not that much more effort. But I need to have that minimum, so that if I'm just feeling like crap and I do not want to shower, then it is okay to half butt it. Because that's still better than what I was doing, right? But I'm afraid to tell anyone this plan, even my sister, because I'm worried they are going to be like, well, why not make washing yourself part of that new minimum? And, like, if I could start doing that, I would love it. But it would not be a problem if I did not have trouble with it in the first place. I know I'm not improving at the speed you want me to, but surely just this one step is better than trying and failing again, because I'm not up to doing more than the minimum on some days. And then I give up, because I feel like I cannot succeed at anything. So why bother trying? Right. So it is best to raise the minimum just a little until I can I'm probably repeating myself, because even while I know half-assing something is better than not doing it at all, I know people are going to judge me, and I just really want them to understand that I know it is not good enough yet, but I'm hoping I get there eventually. Because I'm worried they are going to be like, well, why not make washing yourself part of that new minimum? People do not understand executive eyes function. It is wild trying to explain to people how I will want to do something, look forward to doing that thing, and then I just do not do that thing. Trying to do something I do not really care about. Ooh boy. Thankfully, I have developed effective strategies over the years to keep my life from totally falling apart. But some days, nothing gets done. Also, depression brings on a lot of mental emotional fatigue that caffeine can't totally alleviate. You can want to do all these tasks, but you may not be able to get the mental energy to do it. Then suddenly hours turn to days. Been there. At my lower points. What helps me is incorporating someone else in the process to walk you through it, or lighten the loading cleaning. For instance, it makes the task seem less monumental when you can see you are not working by yourself. That there are always people who have it worse. Thanks for reminding me of starving children and invalidating my issues. Sure, that means it can be okay sometimes, but not all the time. It is a frustrating response because why would I feel better because others are suffering? I do not like that other people are suffering. Makes me realize the world is generally pretty crap. That there is anything that takes precedence over mental health. School is unimportant if I want to kill myself. Don't allow yourself to be depressed. Get up and face the day with a smile and you will just be happy. These people have no idea what it is like to literally have zero motivation for anything for like a month straight, and you just keep on pushing through because it will pass, and then it does not. And then you feel worse because you still feel nothing about things you used to enjoy. And most days just going to work and getting back home is so exhausting that you just sit on the couch and stare at the TV, not even watching it, until you go to bed to start it over again tomorrow. But yeah, let me throw a smile on. That will fix it. The people who tell you to just be happy are the worst human beings. They literally bury their problems and then tell others that it's forcing yourself to be happy when they take out all of their problems on other people and don't see it. These people have no self-awareness. You are projecting. The worst human beings are people who kick you when you are down or victimize others. Doing one's best to cheer someone up, but being ignorant of how mental and emotional health works is just well-meaning ignorance. Hardly the worst. Sometimes it's well-meaning ignorance, but many times, it's people who are like, bro, why are you in a bad mood when you can just choose to be happy? These people don't care whether you are happy or sad. They just care to know why you can't just flip a switch to be happy. I'm over-exaggerating when I say they are the worst ever, but I hate people who think like that. Men cannot have anorexia. Thank you for saying this. This really hits home for me. My husband has struggled a long time with bulimia. I'm sorry to hear that. Eating disorders are terrible. If you are dealing with this, it might not mean much from a stranger on the internet, but I hope you do not feel alone. I know it is different situations for everybody, but my husband's therapy helped him a lot, if that's an option for you. If you are dealing with this, I sincerely wish you the best of luck and peace, dear. No one should have to feel this way. I have Asperger's, so I hate it when people assume that you do not have anything wrong with you, since autism does not have a look. I also hate it when people say, oh, everyone is a little autistic, which is not true. Sure, some people can be anxious, but it does not mean they have autism. Oh, I hate this as well. My daughter 9 is high functioning autistic, and I hate it when people say, oh, she looks so normal. It is probably nothing as she speaks and does not have tics. WTF. It gets my blood boiling. I know she has to work extra hard to achieve most things in the world, and most of its people are so disorienting for her. Yes, she does look normal. No, it is not as easy as she makes it seem. No, it is not just a phase. Luckily, I only have encountered this with people who just do not know any better and are not willing to investigate further. All professionals working with her are great and go the extra mile. Edit. Thanks everyone for being concerned for the squirrels. ADHD something important, oh look. A squirrel. Depression, you just have a case of the sad. Bipolar, you are a raging lunatic. Squirrels are very entertaining though. I cannot count the amount of times just watching squirrels on my college campus has provided me at least some respite from anxiety. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.